start talking. There we go. Hello and welcome in to Titan Talks once again. This edition is all about Jörmungandr, and to do that, we have the wonderful Clumsy Death joining us.
What's going on, everyone?
I'm going to be nice today.
Huh?
I'm going to be nice today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Unlike
like my usual self towards you. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
But we're here all day to talk about Jörmungandr. I have never piloted this show before, so I expect a lot of technical issues. But where are we going to start, boys? Do we just go straight in game? What do we do?
Is there any kind of like preamble you want to give about Jörmungandr?
The preamble's my favorite.
Who is Jörmungandr?
What is Jörmungandr?
Okay, yeah. So I mean, I'm not going to go to the whole spiel about
Snake.
Jörmungandr and how and you know the Norse god and all that stuff. But yeah, SMITE 1 to SMITE 2, Jörmungandr. I mean, this is one of those characters that I think a lot of people have been super excited for.
Yeah.
It's you know we talked about on Titan Talk before about like some of these easier gods and the harder gods and kind of mingling everything together. Jörmungandr is definitely one of the ones that isn't on the easier side, but one that we knew was kind of this, you know, he is a he's a support character, but he's much more on the bruiser side than on the guardian side. That being said, we've definitely seen him kind of mix between the roles. And in SMITE 2, you're absolutely going to see a little bit more flexibility there, kind of more than ever before.
With the power of aspects.
Yes, with the power of aspects and with the power of like SMITE 2 and the hybrid scalings and stuff like that. So SMITE 2, Jörmungandr will be the big snake you guys know and love. There is not a massive amount of like +1s that really change the way he's going to do things. He's just cleaner. He just feels good. There's kind of one new gameplay mechanic and a couple of small things kind of interspersed. And his aspect as well, nothing too crazy and fancy, but between all the different scalings he's got going on and the +1, there'll be just kind of new ways to play him. I'm very excited to see how that's going to work out in SMITE 2.
There's so many different ways to build him. Just like in our playtest, it seems like every day there's a completely different Jörmungandr thing happening.
Available.
There's a lot of flexibility here. He is a very flexible long world snake.
Okay, well, using the handy dandy desktop.
Hey,
I said it. I got there. We'll go to game, and I'm hoping this will work as time goes on. I'm just going to make sure the audio works.
Nice.
Chat, let me know on the audio, please, because I have a feeling because it's my account, it may be too loud or too quiet.
I can't hear it at all.
We can't hear any. No.
No.
We could hear this earlier. No. Try that.
Audio.
Oh, Chess's audio is fine. Oh, there we go. Now I hear it.
Audio's fine. Liars.
Yeah.
There was no audio.
Yeah, I hear it now.
Is that too loud or too quiet? I'll quickly find it.
Yeah, quick. Yeah, look at all the new effects coming in.
Yeah, these turned out, I think, really cool.
Yeah.
I think they look even more like toxic. But hey, come on.
Sorry.
Calm down here.
Have a look at this.
It's a habit. My bad.
But no, I think they look even more like toxic venom pit than they did before.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like
double down on the goop.
Yeah, we went hard with the goop. Yeah,
that was something that it's like when we were having a look at SMITE 1, we're like, okay, well, what are the important things to keep in with Jörmungandr? What's kind of his theme, his FX themes going on? One of it was like kind of that toxic goop going on. Some of it was like the blue, purples, and pinks as well.
So where are we starting?
Where are we starting? All right, I have a big list of notes. I said that not much has changed, but there's still a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about. All right, so we'll start at the beginning.
Okay.
Which is his basic attacks. So one of the things that was talking about, you went to the right spot because usually we don't have a lot of basic attack information, and if we do, it might be on the passive, and Jörmungandr's basic attacks would kind of on his passive.
Okay.
Now we're just putting it here because, well, you'll see. So one of the things was that we soft reworked how the basic attack overheating and cooling worked on the back end for Jörmungandr. For the players, it's not going to seem like there's too much change, but previously he was using this unyielding algorithm that was doing a whole bunch of unnecessary complicated stuff. Now we can just straight up tell you, like, the base overheat rate is 1.5. The base cooling rate just is 2.5. Now those tick at a rate of 0.1 seconds, and he's got that passive meter, which is going to help. Like, this is just how the ability works, and we can even just reveal that to you. While in SMITE 1, that just was not going to, like, we just have to give you a formula.
Look at that goop.
Look at that goop. So we soft reworked how that works. That also will functionally mean that the timing, there will be a tiny bit of difference. I think 1 second, actually more lenient towards the overheating and cooling for Jörmungandr. That being said, or at least more for the overheating. But there's going to be some new gimmicks on there too. So some of the things that you might be able to notice already if you're an astute snake enjoyer, is that the attack speed conversion has actually changed. So from SMITE 1 to SMITE 2. So now it's going to be affecting the overheat rate, not the cooling rate. Because I was kind of looking at that before, and some of the stuff we do in SMITE 1 is almost just like legacy and what we were able to do technically at the time. But if you're going attack speed, you kind of want to be able to be at a faster rate more often, not the fact that you can regain your cooling faster. So now you're not attacking faster, but you're able to stay in the faster attack rate for longer.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's one thing. Other things that I'm sure people are going to want to know about is that your basic attacks will be able to proc item effects and will be able to crit. If you hover over that one more time, you can see that he does have, you know, the lower scaling. It's 40% strength instead of 100%. Obviously, that would be obscene. He does hit at 5 attacks per second, so he is still doing, you know, he is still over the 100% DPS per second. But then obviously he's going to be scaling that lower and lower and lower based on his kind of overheat mechanic. So he can do all that fun stuff. Yeah. It also does say there 20% healing because you can go things like Arrow's bow, which for the record, by the way, today was twice as strong. It was actually set to that 40%. So I literally just before coming here, me and Josh,
Josh has been spamming the Arrow's bow Yorm in playtest, and it actually just heals for a ton. So.
Super sustained.
Well, that's because it was twice as good as it should be. Well, now it'll be slightly less, but maybe it's actually was fine, and 20% is too low.
We'll see. We'll see.
So
we'll see a flash test later today.
Okay. Now I noticed when I hit Ymir.
Wait.
Does it work?
Oh yeah. Okay. So
before you even do that.
Oh, okay.
This is a good example of you can see.
Oh yes.
You can
great,
see.
Great
Yeah.
We added new.
So if you scooch closer to the god, you can see the outline of the god through Yorm.
This was new tech that was added by Tech Art, and Josh is pushing forwards to it. Is you can now see enemies that are inside your, so that Ymir is within your basic attack range, and it'll be, it might only just be for enemies. But before you wouldn't be able to see anyone, and you're kind of just blinding yourself. Now you can actually kind of see a little bit more about what's going around you.
Yeah.
This was something that we actually thought
His
about
body
doing.
Acts like a wall almost.
Yeah, and that was kind of a vision blocker, and it's frustrating. We actually thought about doing something like this in Smite 1, but there was a lot of discontent and just concern over that you just wouldn't be able to see yourself properly.
True.
Because like if you do that, you're just losing yourself a little bit. Now if there's 5 enemies or minions, whatever, it might be a bit. But we went back and revisited on Smite 2. We're like, no, this just looks better. It is better, and the quality of life and the clarity is way more important than the fact that sometimes you might be losing your own model.
Yeah, and I will say, like, while you're playing it, it feels even more natural than like looking at it in video, because like the first time that this was turned on for a playtest, the people that played Yorm like did not even realize that it had been added.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
I felt like I could see better. It was like, okay, sweet, we're doing good things.
Is this dev or is this?
This is dev.
This is dev.
Am I supposed to be on PTS?
Too
late. Run dev.
But can you go to the trees? I want to see if that tech is in as well. So if you go to the trees, so this is also new tech that we just added, which is tree culling tech, which I think will actually be there for every god, but Jörmungandr will be affected by it more. Which is you can see those trees and the vegetation specifically culling away, so he's not as frustrated by the kind of the camera angles while you're inside the jungle. So you can see right there, that is something that would not have worked in Smite 1.
The tree would have just been in your way.
Yeah. And this just came in real hot. So if there's any issues with that, definitely let us know, because this was something that we definitely wanted to play around with, and the team went above and beyond.
Chat says huge. He is huge.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So then, for more information on the basic attack stuff and all that stuff, check out that basic attack panel.
Sorry for the detour there, but I felt like because you could see it, it was a good thing to talk about.
I didn't have that on my notes.
We've got all day. Awesome. We can take our time. There's no rush.
All right, so now we're talking about what Hindu was talking about.
Yeah, what is this purple line about?
So one,
pink,
the
fuchsia,
hard displacement. Yeah, there you go. The hard displacement aspect of his passive of immovable is exactly the same as it was in Smite 1. So if you hover over that, if you get affected by any hard displacement effects, which is listed there as banish, grabs, levitates, and vortex effects, knockbacks being knock-ups as well, and knock straight-ups and all those things, you get hit by that dazed debuff, which is just a 15% slow and a 5% damage increase for 2 seconds. That is just the way it was in Smite 1. But now there's actually, so this is the bigger +1, which is when you hit enemies, get enemy gods with basic attacks and the Venomous Haze ticks, so there's a little bit of a caveat on that, you'll start applying a debuff stack. You'll see that by that magenta kind of bar goes up. Once that hits max, your next time that you proc that will actually deal a burst of damage to that enemy, either dealing magical damage, which is scales off of your health, or scaling off of your strength if your strength is higher. So
interesting. So whichever one was higher, it'll go to.
So we can see that for a second, but let's you can base attacks.
Building it up.
Yeah, you're building it up, and then one more, and then you see that 79 drop.
So if we just hold it down, you can just keep doing this?
Yep, exactly. And then so if you throw your 1 at them and spit, exactly. You can see that is also ticking with each tick.
Boop. And it'll do bonus damage. I'm out of place to minions on the map, objectives on the map.
No, only enemy gods. Only enemy gods. So this is kind of that gimmick that we've kind of teased around before, where you do, as Yorman Gund, you do your whole kit. You use your use your 1, you burst opponent with the 3, you absorb things to do with your 2, and then you've got your basic attacks, and that feels generally pretty good. But now there's just a little bit more of that gameplay of like, okay, in between that, while you're your basic attack or you're chasing them down with your 1, you want to still, you have this goal of trying to burst those poison stacks and apply even extra damage.
Someone just asked in chat, does it time out? And you can see
Yes.
it does time out
So
after a few seconds.
If you hover over that passive information, I want to clarify on a few things. So the debuff duration lasts 4 seconds. It's not super long. It's 10 stacks, and then technically the 11th application will be what bursts. But yeah, whichever is higher. So you can see it there. You have actually 2 numbers.
Yep.
I ran into this before with like Sun Wukong. People just wanted more information. You're not doing both things. Whichever one is higher, it's either 5% of your max health or 100% of your strength. So if you start building more into strength, and you might even start like Jörmungandr as a strength build or a hybrid build, and you'll start seeing like that your health, your base health, will still be higher until you buy enough
whichever
strength.
is higher.
And
So
then
if you're building
whichever is
strength
higher,
and health, it'll go for whichever
it'll
one's higher
probably
overall.
be health for quite a while.
It should
to
be,
actually
but
dip
yeah.
into that 100% strength, you're going to really need to go into a strength build, but that is viable because of the on-hit basic attack
I have a
stuff.
very important question.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is a levitate?
Levitate, I think technically was Cerberus's ulti. I don't know if we use it in many other places, but I just kept it just in case.
Okay, just in case.
I can absolutely.
I was
just
like,
look
I was
for
like,
it.
I know all of these CC types, but what the heck is a levitate?
I think that was previously Cerberus, but I don't know if that's technically true anymore.
Maybe Mordred all. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. We can keep going.
Yes.
So we look
Okay.
to the
So
passive?
that's the biggest part about his passive and his +1s. So that's mostly it. The rest of his kit is going to be a lot more similar to before.
And
yeah,
I would say that like during the dev process, we experimented with a lot more +1s, but they felt like they were just like adding stuff to add stuff.
Yeah,
kind of.
we wanted to be careful there.
Yeah,
and even with the basic attack change and the passive change, that's going to be a lot of almost like even just added damage and added just components to that we want to be careful. So AO1, his first ability, Venomous Haze. 2 things here. One, a little bit more important than the other. One is, so you can see it works just the way you saw before. He's got the timer indicator. It lasts 20 seconds, and it kind of has, anytime you interact with it with your 2 or your 3, it'll go to that base 8 seconds, just like in SMITE 1. But there's one new component, or 2 new components. One, which is, while you are within the Venomous Haze itself, so if you just chill inside of it, like if you as Jörmungandr are inside of the Venomous Haze, that cooling effect that used to be there for the attack speed conversion is actually going to be here now instead. So if you use your basic attacks, and then so you can actually see it's almost like fighting itself, and if you let go, exactly, you just speed up the cooling even faster. So that cooling effect does still exist. It's while lingering within his AO1.
Yeah. So stand in your pools, and you can attack a lot.
Longer, faster. Yeah, forever. Not forever, but close enough.
The other thing is,
do they stack on top of themselves?
No, I don't think these ones do, but that'll be important later on.
Okay.
The other thing that's there that this was mentioned by the ambassadors, like Yorman's got all this poison stuff going on. It just kind of makes sense that the toxicity is probably going to be implying that healing reduction, anti-heal effect. So we
so it's an
expanded upon that with some gods, but the AO1 debuff will also be applying healing reduction.
Like 25%.
And that's the same as every god, and those don't stack with each other, right? It's just if you are hit with anti-heal from a god that has anti-heal, you are at 25%.
All right, 2 and 3 much more simple. I mean, honestly, like I said, the rest of this kit much more simple and inline. His 2 does exactly what it used to do. You suck up the energy from nearby Venomous Haze pools, and it expands the ring of your 2. Oh, they added some extra effects there. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you do that. It grows up to 3 times, but now the buff here is actually that it used to do less damage based on subsequent damage effects, but now I think past 3. But now if you have more than 3 pools, which is unlikely, you'll actually just be doing the same amount of damage. That bonus damage that's there is technically uncapped, but the scaling is capped at 3.
Just show it out real quick.
Yeah, and some people are commenting that like the radius looks a little bit different. Part of it is that the camera angle is just a little bit different than SMITE 1. Josh talked about this a little bit on our Monday show, but like there was no great way to, even if we wanted to bring over the camera angle exactly the same as it was from SMITE 1. So we took a new stab at it and came up with what we thought was the best possible camera angle for Yorm in SMITE 2. So it's because of that ability looks a little bit bigger just because of the camera angle.
Yeah, we didn't do any massive tweaks to like the animation. Like I would say that his animation should be basically the exact same. The effects were the biggest change for sure. So the main thing on the AO2 is that it grows up to 3 times as normal, but the bonus damage can actually be from as many and does not have subsequent damage reduction.
just see the size differences. You got more pools now. Yep.
Yeah, and you can see as well, just as usual, because I didn't mention it, is that he does have that empowerment effects, which is cool. Actually, I haven't seen that effects before. Which is he'll have his unlimited like overheat rate. So you just do that in the basic attack. 2 seconds per pool. You can see his passive meter is not draining. He's firing at the max.
Lord. Okay.
Cool. This next thing for the AO3, so the AO3 hasn't changed as well. Submerge.
Jungle Yorm clear speed, by the way.
Ooh, yeah, Jungle Yorm clear speed does feel good, especially with Boombas as well. Like we actually found a bug with Boombas, but that's a whole separate issue that we then went to fix. Yes, so Submerge works exactly the way it did before, which is when you go underneath the ground, you're stealth, you gain movement speed, and you can refire to knock up enemies. You also have that pulsing kind of sonar effects, which helps you to reveal enemies over walls. You can kind of see that. It does have a range to it, so it's definitely not unlimited range. One new thing about it, though, is that we actually gave it the Loki stealth like flicker reveal, so that Jörmungandr, if you hit Jörmungandr, he will no longer reveal himself instantly and lose that sonar effect. He'll actually just do the pulsing reveal. It's like it'll be definitely more obvious like when gods hit you. So he will be a little bit more of a stealthy snake than ever before.
Okay.
And
still the same interactions with the
same
one
interactions
usual.
with the three. He splits those out. They form 2 new pools.
Yeah. If you've never played Yorm before, the general flow while laning is 1, 3, 2. You know, you make a pool, you expand the pool, you get a big 2 out of it.
Yeah,
just
Yorm's
reveal
3 will still
characters.
reveal stealth characters.
And also over walls, you can see and just gain some vision there in the mid lane.
Yeah, so 2 Yorms like in their 3s together will just keep revealing each other.
Can he crit? Someone asked already.
Yes, he can crit, but it'll be for that reduced
Reduced
strength
amount of the basic attacks, as we said there.
Yes.
Okay.
And then is the ult all we have left?
The ult is all we have left, I think. And then a little bit. Well,
And then we have
the ult
other
is
stuff.
one or
But
two
I mean,
more
from the
things.
kit, at least.
Kind of. I wanted to clarify one more thing, but yeah, onto the ult. There's a whole bunch of tweaks, and kind of like Kilgoon and Josh were saying earlier, is that the camera system is entirely new, and we wanted to make sure that it was. We wanted to make sure that that it felt as similar to SMITE 1 as possible, or even better in certain cases. But gameplay-wise, it's mostly the same. The biggest changes. So if you want to go ahead and use it,
sure.
You'll see that the rectangle crash component is larger than it was before. We kind of wanted, yeah, there is a couple bugs. One of them is that Yorm's untextured right now, sometimes it's salty. So
it's fine.
That's what we found.
No issue.
It actually just dropped up today, so that's kind of surprising. But yeah, there's a whole new thing. You just wanted Yorm's ulti is not the easiest thing to use, but 2 things we'll see here immediately, other than the untextured component, which we're not keeping now, is that the rectangle is larger. It doesn't do any more damage than it did. Also, it's much more well defined. So shout out to Arthur for a lot of the effects. You can just see it a lot better.
Yeah.
But the other thing that Hindu was doing a little bit there, kind of not on purpose, which is the min range is changed, so you can actually cast it, you can overlap the initial starting radius. So that will make it a lot easier to use on enemy gods who are trying to just juke underneath you. Way harder, way easier to finally get that. It's not super easy, but it's gonna be way easier. That being said, and I want to give the caveat that one of the reasons why we had the min range in SMITE 1 was because it looks a little bit goofy at this range. Like when you're underneath it, and if you're just doing it at the minimum, like if you try and get like kind of parallel to the ground or whatever it is, like it looks a little bit janky, but it's not too bad. Like we're just like, this is gonna just still be a quality of life increase. But yes, it does look a tiny bit janky with the tiny little loop and then that crash down. So yeah, there'll still be that. And then finally, the last tiny +1 on the ulti was that we shortened the time between attacks, so between these leaps, by 0.1 seconds. So not very long, but theoretically over 3 leaps, that's 0.3 seconds. And it just feels just a little bit cleaner to use. That was done purposely. So it's a buff, but it's very much was meant to be a quality thing.
Okay.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Earlier this week in playtest, the crash down was dealing damage to allies.
Oh yeah, that was.
It was a bug.
Really?
And
That's a feature.
I had gotten away from a fight.
You got hit by your own
Got
Yorm?
hit by my own
It was very funny.
Yorm crash down. I was like, what the hell? I died to my own Yorm? And I was like, is this a +1 I didn't know about or something? A -1? But no, it's just about to fix
They
it.
still got some good distance.
Last week it was also hitting towers. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's everything to do with the kit, right? It's the Yorm we know and love from SMITE 1 with a lot of small tweaks throughout the kit to make him feel a lot cleaner, a little bit more easy to use, as well as the main gameplay changes being on his basic attacks and the passive.
Does Yorm reveal gods in bushes?
I think so. I need to double check.
I
but,
can try
mean,
out a
is he
bot
in
and
a
see
bush?
if
Yeah, you
that'll
can spawn a
work
bot
real
inside of a bush.
quick.
Does-
Remember how to do this?
I should do the basic reveal plus stealth. So let's.
You in there? Did I even put him in the bush? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's surprising.
Okay, he's in the bush now.
Or you're
No,
in
it's
the bush
not
though.
working. No.
Oh, bots just don't care. Actually, okay. So
Yeah,
we'll have to
bots
test
never
that
care.
separately.
However, I expect it would.
Oh, can you Actually, it won't be there until Gold Fury is killed. I actually haven't tested. Can you go ahead and kill Gold Fury?
Sure.
I actually haven't seen this myself, so we're gonna be learning this live.
What's the? There's a command to make it easy, right?
Tower killer.
Tower killer. Yeah.
Listen, the commands I don't know nothing about.
Yeah, and you can also.
They
turn
wouldn't
tower
give me
killer
them
off
in
its
live
space.
for safety chat. I understand why.
So yeah, tower killer, space one.
Tower killer.
Tower
space
killer,
one.
all one word.
Yep.
Space one.
You're gonna see it all. Space one.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
So
3K.
go ahead and use a wind sprite. I want to see what happens.
Ah, well, I actually know we've got an update for what happens here. You get mobility as a
Okay.
Jormungandr.
Yes. So
It's supposed to be-
it
so you're
does.
gonna get a
It
movement
is there.
speed
There we go.
buff
Cool.
is
So
what's
shout
gonna
outs to
happen.
Madzeneski. We on the
Yeah.
last Titan Talk when we discussed this, there was a lot of people going like, because I mentioned that wind sprites aren't going to allow him to get knocked back, and it gets hit by his passive, and he dazes himself. I went back to the desk and I was like,
That's pretty funny.
I was like, I think that's funny. I think you're willingly doing a button to hurt yourself, but there were a lot of people who were like, let's not hurt our friends. It should still provide a buff. So Jörmungandr specifically, if Jörmungandr uses a wind sprite, Jörmungandr will instead get a very short duration movement speed buff. So to kind of help that a little bit.
Just to help him out in that regard.
Agility relic should just work. You
Yep.
just do a dash. Yeah, it's not a
And
swing or a leap.
Is agility relic give him the melee passive, the ranged passive? I guess
Oh,
neither
he's
of them.
technically a melee, so he would theoretically he would have the melee.
Okay.
passive.
Just go in the shop for a second. I gotta be careful what I show as well. Actually.
Um,
Oh yeah, I just did a little.
Yeah, you do a little hop forwards.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
just a tiny little sneaky hop.
Slide. to
His
the left.
range auto attack penalty. You didn't tell me that before, Flair. Flair's been helping a lot, but so I'm very thankful. Just send me a note. I shouldn't have range. Okay, so last thing that I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Is that Yorm does have hybrid scaling. So we talked about his basic attacks. He's got the in-hand 40% difference, and he's got that attack speed conversion. Both of those things are definitely going to matter, and the fact that his in-hand items will proc at the 40% amount. But also his 2, his 3, and his 4 all have some level of strength scaling to it. The main caveat being the 2's bonus damage does not have strength scaling, it only has int scaling, but the bellow itself does, and the 3 submerge damage and the 4 all components of it have strength scaling. So if you
Okay.
do want strength scaling, strength builds are possible and are viable, and
It would make sense because then the passive has strength.
Yeah.
exactly,
involved.
and the passive
Yeah.
has that strength kind of
basically
switch.
These crazy numbers are because of tower killer chat, right?
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah, yeah, that's
Obviously,
No,
we are
these are
dealing
normal.
9,000 damage.
These are
with an ability.
normal.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
You can tower killer space 0 to turn that off as well.
And
Yeah,
there you go.
Sunbeam Bow does work.
Sunbeam Bow, Braggies, all those effects do work. I think Sunbeam Bow is probably the most ridiculous one.
Okay.
That being said, let us know. We have that new valve of the item proc being at 40%. We can change it down to 30, 10, whatever we find to be balanced. We have tried a few on-hit item builds. Funnily enough, hybrid scaling is probably hybrid tanky strength might end up being more viable, because while you can get to some ridiculous numbers, and if you get on top of someone, it does do a lot of damage with these on-hit builds. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and show it off, we totally can.
What do you want to do?
No, just go
I saw the
like-
Hexstone one, but I'll. Go
Oh
on.
no, you can Hexstone. Go like Sunbeam Bow, Odie
Sunbeam.
Bow.
Okay.
You can definitely do all of those things, and you can do a lot of
Odie.
damage.
Oh my gosh.
But
Top of
the main thing that Yorm kind of struggles with, even with this item build, so the main caveat is that you're in this melee mid-range kind of, you're trying to melee mid-range, and it's not that easy to do that. So if a mage or a hunter kind of plays at the medium to long range, it's really easy to
Oh my
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Okay. That looks really cool.
So I think I'm very curious to see how strong it's actually going to be in practice. It will feel strong. It will feel good. I think there are going to be viable builds, maybe overpowered builds, but yeah, let us know what it feels like. I think it's more fun to see it be viable than for it to just not even exist.
Okay.
Is there?
Oh.
Can we? People have been asking, what does the action cam
Yeah.
look like?
Okay.
Sorry. Am I?
No. That's the next
skipping
thing.
ahead? Oh,
that's literally
funny.
on the next
That's
thing on
funny.
my list. So yeah, you can go ahead and change to action camera. 1 or 2 technically have the same viewport. So gameplay or
on
controls. Gameplay.
Gameplay?
Yeah, camera mode top at the very top. You're already there.
I see. Okay.
Yep. You can change the action cam. So he's got his own custom action cam.
Over
where
the
he's a little bit to the over the shoulder, to the left a little bit, like you'd expect. Nothing too crazy there. But Hindu, do you have the other thing?
I do, but I'll have to switch back.
Okay.
To it if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When we come out to look at the masteries and stuff, I'll showcase that.
We
real
do
quick.
have let's
Well,
come
this is
back
how
to this
the
bullet
action
point
comes.
because we did a play around with another action camera view, but it was not going to work out.
Yeah, we'll show you what action cam would have looked like if we didn't do some additional work to this.
Well, it's
Right?
it definitely wasn't default like that.
Hold up. I'll bring us back to cams real quick.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
you wanna
just
show it
pull
off
up
immediately?
real quick.
Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
can just do it now while we've got a second. Just got a few things, but here's a little look at on your screen
Yeah.
how Jörmungandr looked through action
So I
cam.
mean, people talked about like what if you can fire from his mouth and stuff, but the problem is
It's like,
like
playing through his nose.
yeah,
That's kinda how it
it's
feels
not quite the same. So I gave everyone like I took this because I wanted to make sure that people had an idea of what it could look like, and yeah, maybe we'll have an action camera 3 one day, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna fly.
Yeah, and I will say, remember that for action cam, like main cam, you'll be able to see outlines of gods that are like kind of in that close range to you.
in this situation
yeah.
here, like you can see on my
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
So I think it makes, even though it's a little bit weird, right? I think it is much more workable.
All right, sweet. Do we want to go?
So
to
what's next up? Masteries or aspect?
Aspects?
Aspect. How do I need to come out and go back and I'm guessing for this?
No, there's actually command for it if you want.
Okay, cool.
Now let's switch back to normal cam though for
We
the
should.
normal cam
You are
enjoyers.
right. For normal cam enjoyers, that's me.
Gameplay.
I'm never going to find this because I've never had to. Okay, classic. There we go. Back to normal, I feel like.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
the aspect command?
So test talent, one
Test,
word,
talent,
space Jörmungandr, and you'll start seeing.
space, yawn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
yep,
on.
There we go.
What's
So
it do?
if you
Hover the.
yeah, if you
icon.
hover over the
Okay,
icon
okay,
by his
okay.
thing, you'll see the full thing. So this is the aspect of the unyielding. The idea here is that it would flex Jörmungandr to be more of the supportive side of a guardian rather than the bruiser side of a guardian. It does a few things. One being that the poison clouds will no longer deal any tick damage.
Okay.
But instead, if you or your allies stand within them, kind of like you can for that the cooling, which I'll come back to in a second, they instead get a damage reduction basing off of your scaling with your percentage health from items only.
Okay.
So now if you're an ally of Yorm, it is one other thing to remember, but it is kind of like the Cupid aspect in a way. But yes, you will be able to gain a lot more defenses by being inside of the Venomous Haze poison clouds. Well, technically any
Including
poison
for
clouds.
Yorm too, which you can see,
Including for
I
Yorm
guess,
too,
with
so you can see
these.
that. Decreased damage
decreased
taken.
damage taken.
So then
Okay.
the other thing there, which is the other bullet point, is that you no longer gain the basic attack cooling, but instead, while within those clouds, which is that second bullet point there, or the first one, but instead your Venomous Haze gets much faster cooldown reduction. So
Okay.
if you slash cooldowns, or sorry, not slash, but CMD, yeah, use a prompt for cooldowns.
Cooldowns? Okay. Cooldowns, you said, yeah?
Yep.
Just cooldowns?
Yep.
Okay.
And spit your one out. Let it cooldown. Now go inside of it.
Okay.
It is much
Gonna
faster.
tick down. Oh, goodness. Okay.
And then you can fire another one, and then you can put them underneath yourself, and those ones do overlap. So if you're inside these and you want to throw another one, and you're creating more pools, and this will overlap even more. And remember, you're not doing any tick damage, but you are spitting a lot more, and you're creating more defensive positions. But there's a world where I think it is possible to kind of maybe go a ranged in build with Yorm. So between your defensive builds, between your strength on hit builds, between your bruiser builds, you also potentially have an int build. But like I said, the idea still here is more so for the defensive aspect of it.
And does do the support do the damage mitigation stack, or is that does
The
not?
damage
stack?
mitigation does not stack.
Okay.
So it's just the cooldown reduction to spit again. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
That makes sense.
there's the idea there is still more so that you're poking a lot more because you're losing a lot of the damage tick on minions.
Yeah.
But you're able to kind of put this like defensively for your allies and then start kind of spitting and kind of creating more zones.
Make
for
it more
Do
zones.
they slow still? Did you say that?
They still slow. So yeah,
Okay.
the only thing that's
Okay.
being removed is the damage tick. So not the actual on-hit damage as well. And then finally, the second ability, consuming
Bellows?
Bellow, no longer does any of the bonus damage from consuming the Venom's Haze pools, but instead provides all of the allies and yourself extra inted strength.
There you go. So you're getting bonus strength in it whenever you use
Yes.
them. Okay. So it's definitely more of a not going to do as much damage. Yorm still provides some CC, but also
But much more utility and
utility for the team.
exactly.
Okay.
And this is something that we said we were going to do when we first announced Yorm, right? That this is kind of the spot in our rotation where we would traditionally do like a support character. And Yorm is a character that has been played in support. He's been played in solo. He's had a lot of lives, So we just wanted to make sure that like there was a very clear supportive aspect.
Even more utility for him to play as a support. Really.
Yeah, for people that are support mains and really wanted to have a supporty kind of character in this spot. So.
Yep. A lot of different questions. You do not need to consume any of the pools to buff your allies, but it does increase the range of which the allies can be buffed in, technically. Yeah, if you hover over the 1, that's the damage taken reduction. So it's 5% base and 0.2% of health from items specifically, and then the -1 second per every 0.5 seconds for the cooldown.
So 5% base and then health scaling.
And then health from items scaling.
Health from items, just made that clear. Build Thebes, 1,000 health.
Yes, I did have to balance it around Thebes. Thebes is going to make it very good. If you want a Thebes and Yogi's necklace, like he does get some. He gets to a good chunk of damage for sure. Okay. But yeah, I think that's all of the gameplay stuff to do with Yorm. He's got like I said, he's a lot similar to Smite 1 and Smite 2 with some of these +1s and with the aspect, but he's just got so many different scaling mechanisms going on that I want to at this point, it's if you go even further, then you're probably going to force things more than I would kind of want to force things. I want to see what ends up happening. Like if it ends up being more into Yorm with aspect, or support aspect ends up being way too good with the damage reduction. If it ends up being the on-hit builds, if it ends up being Bruiser Yorm plus on-hit builds, or with more in space. Let's see what the players come up with. Let's not restrict them, and then we'll dial things in or clean things up as we have to.
Real quick before we hop out of game, chat wants to see you build Dreamers, Idol, and Avatar's Parashu and pop them both and see how big he gets.
Yeah, I have no idea what happens. I don't think the ulti will inherit that.
The ulti definitely won't. But
add golf. That's what I'm going
to do. Add golf.
Add gold.
Yeah, just keep yourself.
Oh my god, I'll get that.
Oh god, it might. Well, let's find out.
So
It's not going to
Dreamers
affect
and
the
what was the other?
damage.
Dreamers and Avatars. You have to sell one of your actives though to
I
be able
don't
to.
want to. I like to. Avatars.
Oh, did you piggy already and show that off? Because I wasn't looking.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Okay.
It works.
Okay. Let's see.
He says.
There we go.
There you go. Big snake.
The huge
But this,
world.
yeah, that's
oh.
okay. So there's one
We
other
got
bug.
texture back.
There's two. I think there's one or two bugs, not the untextured one. But
Yeah,
we
big
just,
no, I know.
We just saw one
Shrinking.
there actually, which is so these the flash test is going live at some point. And I think there's
2 o'clock or so.
There's two
Should
bugs
be
that
on
we
today.
that will probably go into them that we still haven't figured them out very well. One, which is when you ulti, his head won't be at his head location. It'll be somewhere in the middle of his body. That one we just can't figure out why it's happening.
We're working on it. It should be fixed before we go. Also, you'll randomly see a head
In Origin, yes.
Yeah.
So if you're playing in mid lane and you randomly see a Yorm head
Yeah.
sticking out there, those two
He's
bugs,
not really there.
We're working on trying to find out where they're from.
Other note about flash test from Pawn. Thank you for the reminder. Do not play as Cupid. His ability 2 does not work for flash test today. So if you just want to nerf yourself and play without it 2, then fine, but don't play Cupid today.
Yes.
Cooled out.
So I think that's everything to do with Yorm. Hopefully people enjoy playing the Big Snack in Smite 2.
We should go check out his
We
Session Pass.
will. I'm just going to make sure I don't show anything off because I'm
Do
scared.
you want to show Josh's bug first?
Yeah, we can do that at the same time.
So Josh on Monday mentioned a bug where Yorm had a pancake face at first, and he wanted to show the video. So he sent the video over. We're just going to show that real
I
quick.
may not have audio for this, but
That
it will
should be okay.
showcase exactly what we saw with Pancake Head Yorm.
Yeah, Yorm's been a technical challenge, that's for sure, as one would expect with all the stuff. But, Josh and the animation team and 3D
video?
art stuff
Video is not wanting to play
really
now?
kicked ass. Effects and sound effects.
It worked earlier. Oh, okay. It was slowed down.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing
So
this.
you can see
Everything
Pancake
looks
Head
almost
Yorm.
normal, but then you kind of look at it and it's like, oh.
It's like a
Yeah.
squished face.
Very
Yeah.
flat.
Yeah.
Very flat.
Having a couple of
very
issues there.
flat.
Yeah. Josh says he was a technical joy. So look at the flat
Technical
face.
joy.
I actually prefer him that way.
Well,
Yeah,
me
the flat
personally.
face.
But
He-
yeah.
He's
it would
been
hurt
submerging
more
way too many
to be
times.
hit with the flat, right? Like, I don't know.
It would.
Flat
It
snack.
would. Okay. So
All right.
we can go in game again.
This is a good comment. Pug Yorm.
Oh my
I get it.
gosh.
Yeah, I see where you're going with that.
I've not unlocked this yet, but I don't think I need to. So we should be able to go back to the laptop. And
Sweet.
here's the mastery
Aw,
screen.
dude.
Obviously,
That looks awesome.
Nice. Oh,
we'll start off with the base
creepy
track of
red
just
eyes, dude.
getting the unlock on the base track, and then little look there. What's this? We also got, I feel like I've never done this before. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, poison bursts.
So wait, what is that? What's Poison Burst track?
Yes,
Poison
that's
burst.
the amount of times that you use like the new +1 feature.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
By reaching max immovable set. So immovable is his passive because it made a lot of sense for the hard displacement. Now it makes a little bit less sense.
This is one of the best claps in the game.
Yes.
Can you play that one more time for people who haven't seen it
Yes,
before?
I will. I'm trying to get the right.
Yorm
angle.
obviously doesn't have any arms of his own, so he's kind of recruited an arm.
He is by
for now.
regurgitating minions.
Yeah,
That's what's going
absolutely.
on. So the clap.
I think there was even
objectives
more
destroyed.
added sound effects added to that by Kellen too. So now the minion's a little bit less happy.
God SS 425 worlds leap. This is the total distance traveled over and under the earth.
So that's what his 3 end is for.
There's a little look at the Onyx skin.
Yeah. It's
Whoa,
very
it's like
golden.
glimmering.
Black
And this is this is like an example of us being able to do metals better now. So we've got metals that are actually shiny. So I think it's looking good, making progress.
After that, we've also got the
Damn.
opal version.
Whoa.
Hell yes.
It's like
I
almost
love
diamonds.
the neck area, the underneath of the neck and the shimmering is.
The gold eyes are
fantastic
actually
there.
really creepy too.
Next up is the most interesting thing I always find in the mastery passes.
I haven't even seen
is-
this.
What this is, I don't know either, but it looks. Okay. Nom 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 is the
That
name
art
of the
is so
emote.
funny.
Yeah, Ben did this.
Oh, that's good. Yep, that's great.
Fantastic on that one.
Nom,
Then we've
nom,
also
nom.
got the wave. He's just gonna shimmy
just-
his scales on the back.
Wiggles his little body. Just, what up?
We also have the World Snake title
Yes.
alongside
God kills as usual.
number of God kills, and then Jörmungandr logo and the
Radiance. Man,
Radiant
still
skin.
always looks so
Yeah, it looks very clean.
good.
Looks great.
Yeah,
God,
like
that's
now that we got this
clean.
gold really working well, like I think
This-
this looks better than ever.
Yeah, the segments of the body look really nice. Oh my gosh, that's so good.
And then is the loading card done? Probably not, I would assume, or the loading frame.
Oh, on here.
Yeah, click that.
Double-
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
look,
it
it's
is.
done.
The loading
Nice.
frame. My bad, I forgot about that one.
It's simple, but you kind of got like the fins going around. You got that blue and purple energy, the haze going on.
Just hidden behind it.
Yep, exactly.
And this is my chance to remind everyone that if you buy the Ultimate Founders Edition, you get all the Ascension passes forever.
Yeah.
A lot of you have been taking advantage of that since we made that change. So,
Which means you'll get diamonds on the mastery tracks as you can play the gods.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get access to all of these.
if you own the Ultimate Founders Edition, you'll just have this when you log in on Tuesday. If not, you'll have to buy it. Or
Every
just buy
god
the
that has a
Ultimate Founders Edition.
mastery's pass.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Sweet.
So I'll go back to canvas
think
for now. and
other
then
stuff.
now I can relax. I think like that was
you can
that was
direct me if there was anything else I was supposed to do.
There's more stuff that we have to show off. So this patch, I will say,
show off.
beyond Yorm, there probably isn't quite as much as there has been in some of our recent patches because we have like 3 things that are kind of like more than 3 things. We have a bunch of things that are like close to shipping but aren't quite done in time for this update.
Yeah.
So we'll have more stuff in the next update. I still think we have some exciting stuff. Probably the best place to start. Do you want to do skins or do you want to do the gameplay stuff first? Chat? Skins or gameplay?
Chat. Choose. I don't mind.
Skins.
Okay.
Okay. First few people said skins. Okay, so we have 2 all-new travelers this update. Pick one. Which one do you want to start with?
Give me a second.
Yeah, click on the travelers tab.
I did, but also the view is different. That's all. It's fine. Yep, we'll go with Agni because it's the first one on my screen.
Yeah. So these are going to share a theme.
Ba-ba.
Ooh. Okay.
Infinite duality Agni.
Right.
Duality Agni.
Yeah. So classic.
Split apart. Oh, no.
Classic skin. I think looks better than ever with the additional.
It's not lasagna though.
It's not lasagna.
It's
I'm
not.
sorry. This was in development before you started spamming lasagna in chat. I think the materials in this just like this one really got a glow up compared to some of the. I think they just did a great job with this one. It comes with 3 different prisms in addition to this.
dark
This
matter.
dark matter one is really sweet.
Wow.
I've been using this in playtests.
Dark matter, and then we've also got Azure Rift.
Azure Rift.
Azure.
I don't know
Nice.
how
That
you
one's
say
really
that.
cool.
Yeah.
And then we also have Platinum Pulse.
Nice.
Yeah. If you want to be a more silver boy.
And then on top of that, in here, you can also get the Galaxy Jump Stamp that you can see on the ground there.
Yeah.
And also the 2 heads.
2 heads.
2 heads is kind of
2
fun.
heads Hindu man. Okay.
Yeah, and I believe this will be. I'm not going to say the price because don't quote me on it. But it should be about the same as
I'm pretty sure I
Traveler's
checked, and like they're similar to what we've been doing recently. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I've already unlocked them because I've tested them in dev,
and-
guys, so apologies for that.
If you just want the classic skin, same as with all the travelers that have a classic skin, it will be available for legacy gems later on once this traveler kind of rotates out. So you don't have to spend anything if you want the classic skin. You just have to wait a little while before it's available.
Okay, and that's the first one. I'm just going to quickly... I'm so scared of leaking stuff.
Oh, it's okay.
I know, but knowing me,
That's
it'll be something
half the
terrible
show.
where you're like, no, why would you
If we
show
were in
that?
dev, yeah, it is a
So
bit
I was like-
scary.
And then second of all,
Whoa.
I'm just going to throw him on the screen. It's Cerberus, but
Yeah, one looks
this is his base.
Yeah,
Nice.
so this is Infinite Overseer Cerberus. We decided we'd do
Oh.
2 Infinite skins this patch. Normally we try and like do a more diverse group of like themes, but we just thought these 2 were so cool, and we thought we'd bring them out
This
together.
is so dope. I love this one a lot, and I love that like his face still has like his stash in his beard. Like,
His mustache, yeah.
He's just got like the
I
dichotomy.
think he stands out
between all
on
that.
one of
It's
these
so
for
cool.
sure. Like, between this one,
I
with the black
love
mustache,
it. It's
you can
so
really...
cute and celestial at the same time. Look at that like fire material going through his body.
The crazy
It's like
outlook,
traveling
yeah.
through it like pipe, like going from his head to his tail. That's
So that's
sick.
the Infinite Overseer.
And then we've got
I should say
sorry,
the Obsidian Supernova
Obsidian.
and Forest
Oh,
Guardian.
I kind of
Base.
like this one. I would bet this will be the least popular because nobody ever buys nature skins, but I think it looks cool.
It does look cool, and I agree with you that other people will probably go for a different option. So Obsidian, Forest, and we also have Abyss.
Whoa.
This is
Yeah,
my
this
favorite
one's the
one.
coolest.
Okay.
Even
That's
though I like
intense.
the mustache in the first one, I really
I like
like
the fire one. Yeah,
the color effects on
this
this
is
one.
crazy.
So that's the Abyss Walker. It's
Yeah.
going to be available along with this Cerberus pack. You'll also get the Overseer title and Flying Doggos. Total time Cerberus has been lifted in the air by either his Soul Expulsion or Stygian Torment. Okay. So there's a little look at that one too. And I believe there's one other as well. Just a
Yeah, so there's
minor
one. There's one other.
Yeah.
It's not new though. We've seen that people, generally speaking, like the Travelers a lot better than buying prisms directly.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a test here where Miss Senshi Bologna, which is a skin which has already been out and it's already gotten prisms, is going to be turned into a Traveler here. If you own any of these prisms when this goes live, you will just get this Traveler on patch day.
awesome.
So if you want to, game the system and exploit it, you can buy a cheaper prism now. And
I was going to say that, but I'm like, chat, go buy one of these now because it's cheaper.
Yeah. So basically, we just find that players like this format better. So we're trying converting a existing one into this, and we'll see how it goes. So if you-
Whoa, love that one.
yeah, they're all 3 really cool. There's this Neo Wave with the really
Yes.
cool shield.
Golden
Grad.
Golden Grad, yeah. And
finally, the
Varsity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like I said, if you own any of these when the patch goes live, you'll just have this Traveler. If not, you can buy this Traveler for, I guess it's going
What
to
if
be...
I own the skin and not any of the prisms?
If you just own the skin, then you do not get access to this because the skin is like a classic skin.
Okay.
So it's just like this, the classic skin will still be available as a classic skin, or you can buy the Traveler if you want the prisms.
Heard.
Really, Travelers are just meant as like here's a prism collection, and they include the classic skin at first, but the classic skin is going to be available for legacy gems later. So it's not like that isn't kind of the point of the Traveler.
Okay.
And yeah, the base skin will still be available for legacy gems. Somebody asked that. I do not believe I don't 100% quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure when we do this, we're going to turn off these prisms for direct purchase. So if you did just want to buy a single prism direct purchase and not have the trio, you should try and do that before the update.
Do it before the update.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So
come back.
And I will note, we did in the last update add kind of boosted coin levels to Travelers.
Yeah.
So if you buy any of these Travelers, you will get 5 levels of boosted coins.
Interesting.
Where you
Okay.
get double coins for 5 levels. So you get like 1,000 free coins, kind of just for playing along.
Heard.
And we're still doing other stuff with Travelers, but that's the update that I have for this update.
Nice.
And then I think we're on to gameplay stuff.
Yeah, so I got a couple of notes from Matt, who was working on some conquest changes.
Yeah.
I think we should mention this because PTS will be up probably after this show.
Yes.
If not already. And PTS should be available for custom games all through the weekend. We've been doing that pretty religiously. However, there is a couple of changes that are going to be making this update, so you will see them in game, which is push the Oracles and mid-lane contestable buff camp initial spawn times back from 1 minute to 1 minute 30. So it's going to be a little bit more delayed in that middle area. around the map, which means we'll probably see some jungle and mid lane adjustments of what the rotation is going to be at the beginning of the game.
Yeah. We've just some context on that one. There's been a lot of like conversation, especially from like some of the high level content creators about like the starts, not just around mid lane and the kind of the jungle start there,
the path,
but just like in all the different lanes. This was just one small thing that we wanted to try out with, and we definitely still have a lot more things that are in mind. But this should help be less stifling for that first rotation in the mid.
So just a reminder, it's the middle buff camp initial spawn time has been pushed back, and the
by 30 seconds.
So by 30 seconds, yeah. So expect to see that maybe the jungler sticks around in the middle a little bit longer or leaves a little bit longer.
Exactly.
And that becomes more of a contested. We'll find out how that goes. I also have down here, the pots near goal for you pick can now be broken with basic attacks.
Okay, so this is specifically melee basic attacks?
Correct.
And this happened because Yorm came in and he couldn't breathe on them with his melee basic attacks?
Well, I also know Ho Yi was having some issues with his aspect of actually hitting those as well.
Hope
but
that's
they should also be involved in this. But most of the time as a melee character, you would walk into these.
Yeah, you just walk into it anyways, right, exactly.
But you can get a little bit, you can hit them a little bit earlier.
Yes.
Minor, but a small adjustment. Also, jungle monsters now use their abilities earlier in their attack chain.
Yeah, so what we had seen was jungle camps, basically after your first rotation, you were killing them before they had a chance to use their abilities.
I feel like people didn't even realize they had abilities.
And people didn't even realize it. So so we want to make sure that you see these abilities and you have to play around them a little bit because it makes the camps a little bit more fun and interesting. So they will happen more frequently or earlier in the attack chain. Cool.
And then that's young jungle bosses. And then Wind Sprite, which you already mentioned, but Yorman Gund gets a movement speed for 2 seconds if he uses those. I also see some small stuff on versus AI Joust and Arena.
This is actually a big one. So Joust and Arena versus AI will once again use their the rules that the PvP, the classic counterparts use instead of the quick play counterparts. So if you want to play versus AI with full item store with the classic rule set, you'll be able to do that again in Joust and Arena versus AI.
And also live, the other thing I've got down here is something to do with a PC server hotfix.
Yeah. So this is live now. So we are pushing it should be live now. We have pushed the hotfix out to live. There was an issue that we had seen happening where basically like if you like lag out briefly, you would kind of lose control of your character. You would like freeze for a second. You would kind of reconnect, but your character would still be moving. It would look like you were doing things, and then you would teleport to wherever your character had moved to. This should address that. So once your client hitches and it comes back, you should regain movement more quickly, and the server fix will prevent you from teleporting after that hitch. So it should return, if there is a connection interruption, it should be less disruptive than it was previously.
Gotcha. You shouldn't really feel yourself teleporting around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big goal there.
Yeah. So, and we're working on a lot of optimization stuff. We're working on a lot of this kind of stuff. This was just one that went live today, and I wanted to mention.
Awesome.
There is one other bigger gameplay thing. If you can go into jungle practice with a character,
sure.
And you have to click on a god and then click join jungle practice. You can't actually just go to jungle practice.
Sure. Any particular god? Does it matter?
Any god.
Okay.
Let's go Yorm again.
Too late. I already chose it.
All right, never mind.
My apologies.
I just saw a lot of people still asking if it's like, oh, have they shown off Yorm? It's like, yeah, we started an hour ago.
That could always be.
Okay. So if you open up the item store.
Yes.
So in this update, we have done a full overhaul to every item description in the game.
Okay.
Everything has been rewritten to try and make it a lot easier to understand what exactly this thing does.
Okay.
Previously, we had long paragraphs that said things in kind of confusing ways. I'm not going to say that all of these are perfect, but they should be a step in the right direction. And if there's ones that are more confusing, please let us know, and we will definitely take a look at them. There's still a little bit of work to be done. Some of the bolding's not consistent right now. Everything has also been color-coded, recolor-coded again, so it might take a match or two to understand what the color coding means, but we do have specific color coding for everything. And we also have added at the very top underneath the item's name, we've added kind of two keywords to tell you what the item is for at just a really high level. It's not necessarily everything that the item does, but just like what is the category of the item here. So like, Typhon's Heart is a summon item and a lifesteal item, right? Because it summons a thing, and and then you can read more if you want to know more of what it does. But the idea is to just give you a quicker idea of what these items do. Anything that is an active item that will have the word active. It won't say what the active does. You'll have to read that section yourself. But we just thought that was clearer for players to be like, oh, okay, active item. All right, I need... a lot of people either just want to avoid active items entirely, or they, what it doesn't matter as much at that point.
Can we search by keyword? I'm guessing that's to come.
Ooh, I don't think we can search on based on tags yet.
Active? Nope.
But that's something that we, we'll probably hit in there eventually.
We'll
And
that's really cool. I mean,
so like Gilded Arrow, attack and farm.
Yeah.
And another thing that we've done here,
Farm. That's a good one.
You got to sow those seeds.
and like the jungle ones say jungle in them, the support ones say support in them, right? So it should be clearer like what this is for.
Yeah.
There's a couple new terms, which this is a good example of. We've introduced the idea of Omni Protect for something that gives you both physical protection and magical protection. And there's also like Omni Power for things that give you both intelligence and strength. So you might see those. Why only 2 tags instead of 3? Because 3 was overwhelming and 2 was a lot clearer. We wanted to only do 1, but there was too much for 1. Right. And you always try and thread the needle. What's the least you can do to tell people what a thing is? So we needed 2. Adaptive means that it has an adaptive stat on it. That's pretty much.
It just shows we're continuing to push into like making sure we get the data in the game for people to be able to review a little bit easier. And I do like the color coding too, because I'll be honest, I'm lazy when it comes to reading sometimes. So just seeing color going, okay, cool. I know from now on that attack damage is like a pinky red.
Yep.
Then I'm like, okay, cool. I know that's good for me, or attack speed's yellow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is clearer. And then there was one other thing I was going to mention. Oh, the tags.
Show Sanguine Lash. Sure.
Sanguine Lash is very confusing. This is the most confusing item in the game. This is. We were talking about this one specifically this morning. That like maybe this one is too confusing in this state.
You're welcome.
But I think all of us looked at this one and tried to make it less confusing, and this is where we ended up. Other than Sanguine Lash, though, I think every item is a clear improvement.
There was something about this that Pon just said, look for penetration.
Resurrect?
Yeah, that's a wrong tag. That's,
okay.
Some of the tags are wrong.
Maybe this is just a new effect from just telling everybody else.
I was looking at that. I'm like, what did we change that I didn't know
The
about?
Resurrect tag is supposed to be on Obsidian Dagger.
Right.
And it got put on its back.
Okay.
So there's a couple tags that are wrong. There's some things that we know that we're still working on.
Still work in progress, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And there was something. The specific tags. You'll also see those in the Pick 3 builder. So it should be even easier to figure out like what items you want to build when you're playing.
So they kind of follow up with each other on.
Yeah, in the quick play, it would just have like a picture of the item, name of the item, picture of the item, and then it'd be like intelligence, lifesteal, and then it'd still give you the short description of the item too, but should be easier. Do I have anything else on that? No, that's most of it. And we are not going to also support the original descriptions. I see somebody asking that. This is. We think just a pretty much overall improvement. So we are not going to support 2 different sets of descriptions. And
I'll come back out to cams for now.
Last thing I just have a little bit of audio stuff from Kellen.
Sure.
So I'll just read through real quick. We've decreased the ultimate hit volume for Aladdin. We fixed an issue with the ultimate projectile being too quiet for Vulcan. We fixed an issue with ability voiceover not playing for the Morrigan. And we have revised Titan death sounds.
Sweet.
And also quips were already boosted earlier on this week.
Yes, and quips should be louder.
So they should be louder. Yeah.
I think that's everything I got.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked for an hour. Sorry.
Yeah, we thought we were going to get
55 minutes
we
already.
got through more than usual.
Before
and
we get a
also,
proper Q&A.
balance will be talked about on Friday, I believe. We didn't go through that on this show today.
Yeah, there is a.
Well, you've not sent it me yet, so how can we do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've not even done finishing it.
Yeah, we will go through balance on Friday, and we'll talk through all that then. I think that's it. Just quick recap. So coming on Tuesday, we have Jörmungandr with his new aspect and his Ascension Pass. We have the new item text, rewritten and formatted. We have the item tags. We have those tags in Pick 3. We have the Agni Infinite Duality Traveler, the Cerberus Infinite Overseer Traveler, and the Bellona Miss Senshi Traveler, which you get if you own any of the prisms for free. We've made some audio things I just talked about. We've made some changes to Conquest, pushing oracles and mid lanes buff camp spawns back by 30 seconds, allowing you to break the pots in your Gold Fury with basic attacks. Jungle monsters are now going to use their abilities earlier in their attack chains, and Joust and Arena versus AI now use the classic rule set instead of the quick play rule set. And we fixed we have a in live right now, we have a fix for teleporting after you hitch. That is the summary for this patch.
And that's not even including Balance 2, which is coming on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
So over a 2-week schedule, pretty good so far, if I'm being honest with you. We're still a bit early, but what questions do we have in chat at the moment that people might want to try and get answered?
None. No questions.
No questions. Console store and new items being added, like the new item section in the store. Are we able to get that for console?
There's not room in the console store, I don't believe, to add that. So it's why it doesn't exist there.
Heard.
Yep. We are investigating just some console performance issues in general. Our kind of like lead programmer is looking at some PS5 issues in particular today. So hopefully we'll have some improvements there.
Okay. Jörmungandr, can teammates see through him? Similar
Teammates
to how he
will
can
not
see
have any
through
vision change now.
Okay. I mean, it would make sense that there's a big worm in your way that you
Yeah.
can't see. Yeah. So, no, you cannot see through Jörmungandr as a teammate. So, if you want to troll, stand in front of your teammates, I guess.
Oh, I have another thing that's going to be broken for PTS today.
Yeah.
Just as a heads up.
Other than Cupid.
One of the things that I will spoil a future update slightly and say one of the things that we are working on in the background right now are some improvements to the match lobby.
Yeah.
Because the match lobby just breaks a lot
I was
right
going to
now.
ask about that. Right. Yeah.
In the match lobby for PTS, you are going to see it's going to look like the current match lobby, but there's going to be like broken god and player names just kind of in
Floating.
weird places floating on the screen. That will not happen when the patch actually goes live. We know that that's an issue, but it got broken because we're working on a more comprehensive overhaul in the background.
Which is exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Just reading chat to see if there's any other questions that we could quickly answer. I mean, I'm saying like quickly answer, then go, okay, now it's time for one more question, and we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So,
let's.
a Zhongqi game is coming out. Any chance Zhongqi will come to Smite 2 sooner?
I will admit to posting in the company Slack when that was announced that I guess this means we have to do Zhongqi. But I mean, when we were saying come to Smite 2 soon, I mean that game's going to take a while to be developed.
That's true.
You know, it's probably like 2028. So Zhong might be out by 2028. That's what we can confirm.
Yeah. So I don't have anything to like confirm or deny about Zhong right now. I think it's funny that that was announced because he is never been the most popular Smite character, but big character in the mythology. So.
Yeah, I agree, John. There's been you didn't ask this, but I'm going to take that as there's been a severe lack of Smite Card 2 discussion while I'm on a.
It's
on
been
Titan
busy
Talks.
today. There hasn't been a lot of time.
It's been busy.
You've had no
It's
time
been
to
busy.
discuss it.
You were talking about roller coaster Jormungandr on the one that I wasn't on.
Could Jormungandr fit in a Smite cart, I guess?
Oh, we can make it happen.
Really?
Yeah, it'll work.
It's kind of like traveling around. It could be strange. Okay.
It'd be very silly.
Kellen. Yes,
Okay, we are now at 1:59, so we're going to say the usual bit, which is
one more question.
That's right. I don't have to do it for two of you. It's great. So let's try and find one more question each to wrap up the show for today. We will be back on Friday to give you the balance breakdown ready for next Tuesday. But also, additionally, PTS should be live this afternoon. I'll make sure and we'll confirm, but I expect it's already up. And it should be available for custom games throughout the weekend, which we've been doing consistently. Please feel free to give us feedback on how that experience is. We want to know about the stupid Yorm builds that you guys get up to that may be too strong.
Yes.
Or also things that may not affect correctly, or even the tooltips from the game of the items. So make sure you give us as much feedback as you can, and we'll continue to iterate on those.
I had a quick one on can Yorm will be able to go and join Apollo through his ulti.
Really? He can jump in a cart?
Right? The tech is there. Well, he's just turning into like a ball, right? And then he's just following along the side. So
Okay, so Yorm can go into Apollo ult. Can Aladdin ult Yorm? I'm guessing yes is the answer there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've actually tried it yet, but yes.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I think we did. I remember playtest where you were specifically testing that. I see people asking about markets. I don't have any updates on markets for you. Sorry. We'll give you an update when I have it. I would like to pick a question I actually have an answer for.
Yeah.
I will say I'm going to pick a question I've seen pop up here a couple times. And I don't see it on my screen right now. There's somebody asked it. People asking about the health of the blue buff camp because it can lead to some difficult starts.
Okay.
I would say
Is solo lanes complaining?
yeah.
And junglers sometimes.
I think that there is. I would say that we have heard that feedback. We've heard a bunch of feedback around Conquest. I don't know for sure if there's any balance related to that will end up in this update or not. But I would say that like we're having conversations about those kinds of things, and we will. We are aware of the concerns around it, and we'll address them when we think it makes sense.
Clumsy, seen another one, or you've already done yours?
Oh, did I? Yeah, I guess.
I guess you already did technically.
Yeah, right? Surely that was enough. What fruits you love in a fruit salad?
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy. No fans of the Wiggles here. No, okay.
I'm aware of it.
All right.
Okay. Actually, that's a good one because I did change it. Hussars does not make Yorm immune to his own. Wait, no. Did I make it so that you can? I specifically addressed it, and I just don't remember which direction I went. I think it does make you immune to your own daze slow, but it will not remove the damage taken components of it. So those parts are decoupled. If you want to remove the...
So you don't get slowed, but you do still take the bonus
extra
damage. I mean, that would
yes.
make sense. Yeah. Okay. That does make sense. I think
Cult-
that is
cult
it
drink some water.
for the show.
We have forgotten a bit, but it's going to be a disappointing bit today.
It is.
The Alani check. We don't have any Alani on the show today.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
I drank a large cold brew coffee this morning, and I was thoroughly caffeinated, so I just have some Maison Perrier sparkling
The days
water.
you don't have an Alani, you say that on every show.
Because
You're
that's
like,
the
"I had
only
coffee
reason
this
why I
morning."
don't.
Yeah, yeah.
If I drink too much caffeine in the morning, I'm like, oh God, another like very caffeinated beverage at 1 p.m. is going to destroy me. So
For me, it's water, and for Clumsy, it's something.
It was peppermint tea and water.
A little bit of whiskey.
very nice.
yeah.
Just in case.
That's for Thursday.
Get you through the show.
Yeah.
Get you through the show. Well, thank you so much all for you tuning in today and going over Titan Talks and having a look at Jörmungandr. We'll see you all on Friday when we go over balance. Please feel free to give us feedback as always, and we'll see you guys on the battlegrounds. Bye. Did that bye too early because now I don't.
Yeah, you got to find the button. This is like when you say
always-
goodbye to somebody
I know,
at the
yeah.
door,
And
and then you
walk
walk
the
with
same
them.
way.
Yeah, to the same.
Yeah, it's the worst thing. All right, see you later, chat.
All right, bye.